takes you to this bookcase over here. Perhaps we can find something on here that might help open.
Okay.
So mean.
Oh, come on, that was funny.
Maybe it's electric.
Pulling books?
Pulling books.
While we're looking around stuff, can I do a quick check around the
room?
room, make sure there is no one else that's walked in right now?
Certainly. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay. I rolled as you said it. 17.
Okay. What are you all looking for on the bookcase?
I think we're suspecting a book as a lever.
Yeah, maybe pulling. We're going to try pulling out some books. Looking for a key or a lever.
I'd like to ask you where it went. Right
here. Look.
Does it go to any particular book?
No, just to the bookcase in general.
Mm-hmm.
We might be able to trace it up the bookcase if we can find it again.
Pretty long, so.
As you trace it down to the ground, you watch as it basically it goes into the side of the bookcase at the bottom, and then there is no sign of it past that.
I would like to look at the title on the book.
Well, can I walk around to the other side of this bookcase and see if it continues out on the other side?
The bookcase is form-fitted to the wall itself.
Okay, so it's not to the side of the bookcase, it's to the front of the bookcase.
Hey, Lafani. Why don't you use that pommel of yours to see if any of the books are magic? Or have magic around them?
Bookcase
Doth is quite a bit better at that.
Comes down, enters into the side of the bookcase. Bookcase is form-fitted to the wall this way. There is no behind the bookcase.
Oh yeah, I mean like the other side of it though, like where the bookcase.
On the
on that side.
Performing the same motion. There is no traceable notice of the shining.
Okay, so it's got to be on this bookcase then.
This part itself sounds mechanical. Now what else is guarding the safe? Might not be, but
While they're discussing, I will look at it with my magic sight.
Okay.
I'll look at the...
The bookcase fairly glows with a very low magical emanation from any number of different books. They all seem to resemble the same abjuration magic that your spell book does, as in there is protective magic on pretty much almost all of the books that are in here. Okay. With the exception of some of the hardier ones of stone and metal, almost every single parchment or leather book has some form of protective magic on it.
Idea.
You'll be careful about not opening books, right?
Well, I can read giant. Do the spines of any of the books have names on them or titles?
A decent number of them have some form of titles on them. Yes. Damn it! I should have came with a fucking library of fucking titles.
Lusty giant name.
You knew one of those.
All the titles from the top to the bottom.
I read giant.
It's okay.
I was gonna try to read.
Every giant needs a friend.
Every giant poops.
James the
James the giant
dildos.
How to serve man.
You see that any number of them are various war treaties. It looks to be like a large number of them are various versions of war treaties from different nations that have been copied back over into Giant. Pretty much all of them have some sort of battle name, country to country, originally written by, transcribed by, kind of thing. They're all definitely like copies of other human books. A number of the ones with the metal and stone are war treaties, but they appear to be original writings of giant battles. The oldest one would be one that would be in a silver plate material that by the date on it goes back at least 12,000 years.
It's nearly as far back as the giant dragon war.
Close. 26,000.
I said nearly.
About halfway there.
About halfway there.
Dolly, can you pull that one down for me? And I point to the oldest one.
There's no possible way I could lift that one up.
It's worth a shot.
That book alone has to weigh more than all of you combined.
Probably. Looks heavy.
Let's cast 4 on it. Find out. No, no, that's not gonna happen.
Somewhere on this bookshelf there must be the key to this.
Slowly casting
So what all are you looking for?
He didn't have. No, that's
Sure did.
metagaming.
It's not probably not alphabetical.
In the game of knowledge that you're careful. Like when we're fighting monsters or
Like date maybe.
Did you happen to
The oldest we can't live.
Did you happen to see anything else around the room?
I'm gonna continue looking around the room with my detect magic.
Okay. You made the better part of a circle around the majority of the room to get to where the wall was glowing, making the last circuit around back to the main set of doors. You see that the main set of doors appear to have some sort of, again, an abjuration protective magic on them. The only thing left in the room, walking over towards the chairs and the table in the center, all of which seem to have protective magics on them. The chairs, the table, and the game set itself looks to have an aura of necromancy to it.
Oh, boy.
That's it, doesn't it?
Since it is an
So-
item, I would like to identify it.
Yeah, so this is
I use Divine Sense.
Good choice.
I haven't shared that knowledge yet.
It's not an item in the traditional sense.
Okay.
You get, it's not a full sense. It's not a full sense of necromancy. It's a mixture of magic, so it's kind of hard to directly place the school, but necromancy comes out above others.
Okay.
What are you guys looking for?
Use the share ones first.
Okay, so if that one gigantic book is the oldest,
Mm-hmm.
Did you
Which one's
did
the
you share
newest?
this knowledge with the group?
Yes, I'm going to share this knowledge with the group.
There are a collection of 6 smaller than all the rest. Obviously, they're still incredibly large books, but they appear to be some form of journal, and they have entries. The last of the 6 books was about 200 years ago, and that would be the youngest of the books that are on the bookcase.
we could try pulling out the youngest since we can't pull out the oldest, see if that helps.
I would like to use Divine Sense near the game.
Okay.
We could just see any of the books will
There are no
burn or use.
undead
I don't
near you.
care. War treaty.
There are no
It's an
undead,
overall
meaning there
like
is.
it's been
Where'd it go?
moved or it's clean of dust. or
There is a
anything like that.
sense of undeath, but there are no undead.
I would like to try and use Oracite on one of the chess pieces.
Use your power.
It does not find a target.
Okay.
For the books, does anything stand out in appearance? Does one look maybe
Less dusty.
less dusty, more used? Just out
None of the
place?
books look particularly dusty at all. They all appear to be pulled out to at least to some degree regularly.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to judge just how regularly they are pulled out, but for these types of books in a study, you can kind of get a general sense that the books on this bookcase are read fairly frequently,
Yeah, does it
or at
look-
least used fairly frequently.
Does it look like anything sitting out and like any type of pattern would stick out? Book spines in an order or
No, nothing in particular.
I was wondering.
Go ahead and make a perception check. The two of you who are checking out the bookcase.
23.
23. There are a number of knickknacks kind of scattered across the bookcases. For the most part, they look fairly mundane. You see one that looks like a geode that appears to have been carved in some way, shape, or form on the inside into a scene. There's a number of small coffers that look to be almost like, the standard cigarette case style coffers. All when opened appear to just be empty. There's nothing in them. They look more for show than anything else. Very well made, but they're 3 feet long, 2 feet tall. Like, they're hefty for anybody else that's not a giant. There are a number of other things that all of them include things like there's a small pen set into a brass cup, like several different pens that are all in, like, just resting in a cup. There's an astrolabe up on one of the top shelves. There's a number of smaller, like what would look to be like paperweights of some sort, some metal, some glass, just a random collection of knickknacks.
We have shared the knowledge that we've all gained with each other, correct?
I think it's fairly safe to assume so.
Arkin and Doth, did you notice a pattern when looking at that blocked off area?
Pattern?
A pattern between the bars and the stuff like that you were seeing behind the wall.
It sounded just like interlocking bars.
Sort of like a chessboard.
That's where I was thinking.
4 bars on the bottom, 4 on the top, 4 on the left, 4 on the right. It was standard, 4 bars all. Like, it looked like 4 bars that went this way into the cover stone, and bars that went this way into the cover stone.
So definitely, not a chessboard.
Yeah. I'm definitely thinking that chessboard is the key. We just have to figure out how to play it. Shit, I'm not allowed to say it's a chessboard. Sorry. That game board.
I said the same thing earlier.
My apologies.
Faerun has a version of chess. I can't remember what it's
Dragon
called.
chess.
Is it Dragon Chess? I
Dragon
thought for
chess.
some reason it was called something different, but yeah.
Does anybody want to just move a piece on
the-
one side and see what happens?
With the magic?
before-
That sounds like a trap.
I think it's a great
Before
idea.
we do that, let's see first, are they in starting position, or does it looks like it to be in the middle of a game?
Great idea.
Are you climbing up on the chairs to see it?
Yeah.
3, 4, 5,
Oh, okay.
6, 7.
Climbing up on the chairs to see it. All of the pieces that are on the board look to be for the most part, in the starting position. There's at least 2 of them. There's one that's laid down that doesn't look like it's as complete as the others, and there's 2 more that are standing on the
Wizard's
board that
chess.
also don't look like they're complete. Like, the pieces themselves don't look like all of the pieces are part of the piece. They all appear to be humanoids of some sort, in armor with weapons, and they are all dead. They are all skeletal.
Hence the mechanism.
I can use the gust cantrip to move a piece to see what happens.
That's not a good idea.
We need to speak first. As a group, and decide what we're going to do.
That's fine.
We'll take that and file it away. If we decide to act on this.
So, anything
think-
else with the bookcase?
Can we see if there's any like runes
Hold on a
on
second. He's asking.
No.
Oh, okay.
But the bookcase holds something that we're missing. We're not looking at the right way. The bookcase is giving us hints and making this easier. We have to figure out something else with this bookcase. Do you guys want to try to pry it off the wall?
How much space?
Oh yeah. My apologies.
How much space is between the top of the books and like the bookshelf itself? Or like
It varies. The books are any number of varying heights. Probably like the 3 tallest ones are almost right up to the wood. but the rest of them are a bit shorter than the rest, about, just over halfway between board to board.
Nathali, what can you tell us about your father? What was his name? Was he in any big wars or anything of the sort? Was he a battle general of any famous battles?
He's been a leader of our people for thousands of years. I mean, he's old. He's old beyond belief. His name is Nasagoth.
That name sounds familiar.
Does anyone want to help me look through these books for the name Nasagoth and see what we can learn about this man?
I don't think it's a safe idea to open the books.
Yeah, 'cause
There's
it said
there's
it
protection
earlier.
there's protection magic on them all.
Yeah, I mean,
Almost all of
I
them.
have to guess it's the protection
Um,
to preserve it, or protection
Hearing the
to-
name, it is the name that was written on the handwritten journals that were from about 200 years ago.
I mean, his journals are over here.
Party decision. Take a vote.
I mean, we don't know. Probably know the Magicon's just protective to keep them from aging.
Personally, I think we need something to go on if we're going to do this.
Let's look at his journals.
Party vote.
And
Read
it
'em.
was actually in the
Read the
water
journals.
spirit the whole time.
Read them. Alright, we're gonna go read the journals.
Okay. Who's grabbing books?
So, I mean,
The only one who
I'm
can
gonna
read
grab
giant
because I
books.
can read giant.
I think so.
Okay.
The written language is in Dwarven runes.
The books are still very heavy.
Are they in Dwarven runes?
It's
Giantish
Giant
and Dwarven
language,
use the
Dwarven
same.
runes.
They use the same runes. They use the Death Egg runes.
Would I be able to read
But-
that with Dwarven?
No,
No, it's
it's a different language.
Okay, my
Though
apologies.
you recognize an A for an A, but
It's
Russian
Yeah.
versus English.
English
Yeah.
to Spanish.
fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Is this like, were you possessed by Cthulhu there for a second?
I wish.
No, I
He'd
know.
kill me.
Manhandling the first one out and kind of leaning it up against, you can kind of open the pages, and these are, again, battle journals of various battles. Apparently, the first one in the set details a length of battle that they had done with orcs like several hundred years back, long before they ever came here to this place.